أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So what we're going to do now is try and build a building. So we've looked at the introduction to Qur'an City, we've seen how to build it, but now let's look at individual buildings to see how we build them. And we picked on Sura Al Faatiha because in essence, if I was building a city, then I would need to know the essence of the whole city. So I need to know the foundation place of that city. And the foundation of the Quran is Surah Al Faatiha. So I would teach the children that this is the building that really, in a nutshell, encompasses all the other buildings of Qur'an City. It's part of Hamidat Crescent, and that's on their maps as well. And like I said, it's got 5 surahs, but we're going to look at the foundation, which is Surah Al Faatiha. Now, before we start building anything in Qur'an City, we need to look at the color directory. And this is the color directory. It's on the website. We can send it to you. We can put it on the chat. We can send it to you on WhatsApp or email or whatever, and you'll be able to see it. So what we've done with the color directory is that you've got these colors are of the bricks that will be in each of the buildings. So you can see that you have 11 colors over there. Anything that you see is white, you know is talking about Allah. So the children really have to know what this is about. Divine guidance, that means the Quran, all the messengers will be in yellow. The day of judgment will always be orange. So when you see the whole city, when it's built with all the buildings, you'll be able to correlate all these colors. Anything that's talking about reflections will be blue, oaths will be purple, warnings will be red, ethics or law, anything that you've got which tells you what to do will be in light green. Jannah will always be green, and Jahannam will always be black. While gray is those who defy or disobedience or hypocrisy will all fall in the gray area. And finally, we've put historical events in yellow. So if there's battles and stuff, there might be in sort of a cream, not yellow, but sort of a cream color. So it's quite important to know the color directory. So we're going to start to build Surah Al Faatiha. Now, I'm going to put on the visualizer rather, and you'll be able to see. So what I have here is bricks. They're quite easily available, and it's just like cooking, what I did before. So what I've done is I've done the first block, which is 4 ayat. So I'm presuming that is sort of 2. They can do a bit of math as well. I will put these gray bits as dividers. So I've divided the surah into three little sections. So I'll do exactly the same with Lego. That's my first section. Then my second section, obviously, I will need a section of bricks on there. And I could put the same thing on if I wanted. There you go. That's 2 ayat. In fact, hold on, let me try and do this for you. My first section will be a little bit higher than this because you can see the second section is only 2 ayat. So I can do this as the first section, which is 4 ayat. So you have half of that is 1 ayat. So you have 4. I think you can see it here, like that. Yeah. I put the second section on with a divider, and these are all available with Lego. I put the third section on, and because the third section talks about a reply from Allah as guidance, that's why it's yellow. And I'll put that on like that. You will put a top on there. And then we said that there you can see it, all the roofs that are Makki are yellow, and all the roofs that are Madani are green. So for Makki roofs, I've got these here that I will just slot on top like that. And that's it, that's my building. And it's really, really simple. Just by looking at it, I know that the first 2 sections talks about Allah, and the third one is about guidance, just as we looked here. If you look at this here, so you can compare it to the color directory. Every time you see it, you'll think the first section is Allah, the second section is Allah, and the third is guidance. And I'll go back to this so you can see it. And then on top, I can put a sticker on. So I told you we had these vinyl stickers made. So if I took the sticker of Fatiha out, hopefully I can peel it off. So that's the sticker for Fatiha. And I'll just stick it on top there. Now you can either write on it, there you go. And that's my building. That's basically how a building is built. Now there's a building that I had, which I'd done before, which was a bit bigger, which needed more bricks. And I could write on it. I could write the I numbers with with a permanent marker. I could write that with a Sharpie. I could write what the building's about, which we will do just now. I could write a little bit of the words over there and more words over here. So they can write what they want, they can draw what they want, and literally that's how a building is made. And I'm hoping that's how they will have 114 buildings. And every time they look at them, they know what it's about. Now, once they've made the building, then I can tell them about the building. So here we go. So I would say, first of all, that the first part of the building is ayah 1 to 4, which answers the question, who is Allah? So I went shopping for a God. I wanted to look for a God that suited my purposes. And I looked at the Quran and it said, who is Allah? So my building, the first part of my building said, who is Allah? He is Rabb, He is Rahman, He is Rahim, and He is Malik. There you go. So a Rabb is somebody who is a master, but takes me to my personal best step by step. He's Rahman. His mercy covers everyone. Rahim, there is special mercy for those who are attached to him. And he's Malik or Malik. He owns and he controls. So my first section of my building, which I will keep on looking at again and again, tells me who is Allah. So here I would write who, as I have written here, as you might want to see. I've written who. And that's just written in plain Sharpie. Now, once I know who, I will go to the second floor. And the second floor tells me, what do I want now? What do I want? إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. We, and it's not even I, we want to be, there you go. And I'll go back to the PowerPoint. We want to be your slaves. We want to be attached to you, and we want help. So he says, what do you want help in? So we say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Guide us to our personal best. Now you can talk about sirat. It's a straight path. It's wide, and it's the only path which goes to Allah, and it goes from down to up. Again, I will look at my building and I will continue to tell them it starts at the bottom and it works its way up like that. It comes up just like that's Sirat al-Mustaqim. You could draw Sirat al-Mustaqim up there. You could use one of these Lego does these accessories, and I was just looking at them today, and you could use an accessory like a fence bit. I think there's a bit of a fence here that you could use that actually looks like a ladder, and I could actually put that ladder on top. You see that, right? And they're actually climbing up, and you can make it so it goes up and down, and it's quite easy to do. So it's actually using our heads to see what we can do. Then comes the last section, which is Allah's reply. So that's the yellow section in my building. And he says, follow the path of those whom he has blessed. And I would tell the children, that's a verb, an'amta, and they know verbs and nouns. The second two are nouns, not to follow those on whom there is anger and not those who are lost. So I'm looking at my yellow bit here with the children, and I'm saying, that's his guidance. I told him, I want to be my personal best. I want to be the best. So he says in the yellow bit, follow those whom I have blessed. So I'm going to ask him, who have you blessed? That's my major question. Who are you angry on and who is lost? And he tells me, read the rest of my Quran and you will find them. So build the other 113 buildings and you will find the answer. And then obviously you will go through each of these verses in the Quran. So we will go through each of them with them. And the reason why we picked on Fatiha, and you could pick it for Ramadan or whenever you want to do that, is because every child knows Surah Al Faatiha. And it's quite easy to build. It'll take them some time. You can go through each word. I would suggest you go through each word. And you could make each of these bricks, and I'll take them apart. This is what I would do. I would take these bricks apart and I would make each of these bricks a word. So I would write the word on those bricks. And if that's what we've taught the children, my goodness, we've taught them enough. And we'll continue every week to do one building as we go along. We could do the surahs they know. We could do Ikhlas and Ghafirun and Falak and Nas, and we could build it so you could do it in the same way. And then I would show them the whole city that hopefully you may have built. And when you look at the city, you will focus on Hamidat Square, which is there, which is up there. So you could have the children not only building Fatiha, but they could also build Hamidat Square or Hamidat Crescent as such, and put the 5 surahs there. So they will know that Fatiha and Kahf and Sabah and Fatir start with Alhamd, or start with praise and gratitude. And even if they learn that much, my goodness, it's more than enough. Okay, so this is where I'm going to stop with Fatiha.